Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been to the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. Pete had an idea. I wonder what it is. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy! Pete's place, let's go! Looks like they're gonna spend the night at Pete's house and continue the fun. The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say goodnight. On went the pajamas and out went the light. Good night, Gus. Good night, alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, says Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep. Pete tried again to catch some Z's when rat-a-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time for sleep. All of Pete's friends are keeping him awake. Good night, Gus. Good night, alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard, uh-oh. Munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch. It was alligator. He was always up for eating. What could Pete do? What is alligator eating? Some pizza. Yum. All the clapping, all the rat-a-tat-tapping, all the munching was giving him the bedtime blues. Pete had a groovy idea. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read, first to himself and then the gang. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Do you think Pete will get some sleep after all? Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight, time to catch some Z's. Looks like everybody's sleeping except for Pete. Now he is. Tomorrow was another day for surfing, sun, and tons of fun. The end. This is JoJo with JoJo's Storytime for Kids. Subscribe for more books and read-alouds. Bye.